KC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back and welcome to the weekend. The weekend forecast, not that great. If you like today, gray skies, on and off showers, tropical showers and storms you're going to like this weekend. Unfortunately, there may be spots where the rains are too heavy. We could have some runoff problems, maybe some localized street flooding, so we'll be on the lookout for that. The weather shot this evening, well, everything's green and blossoming across the area, and boy, my grass has been growing. You cut it, and about 4 or 5 days later, it doesn't even look like it's been cut. So the rains have been coming, and we got more on the way. So let's kick it upstairs. Take a look at, first off, what we have with respect to the flash flood watch that's through Saturday evening. Again, we're looking at the flash flood watch that is going to be in effect from later on tonight through tomorrow. We are looking at anything in green, the I-10 corridor on southward under that flash flood watch, and the National Weather Service actually going for about 1 to 4 inches in this area. So this is what we will be watching. Now, as we look at the big picture, we see the rain and storms across portions of St. Mary Parish late this afternoon, and more activity back to the west and the northwest as well in Allen Parish. And this is just going to be on and off over the next several days. Pardon me. As we have plenty of deep tropical moisture offshore in the Gulf of Mexico as well. As we look at the infrared satellite imagery, you can see the on and off activity, but we open it on up. We see a cluster of storms out here in the Gulf of Mexico that is looking kind of organized. So we'll keep an eye on this feature. We're not expecting any development, but this disturbance slowly moving toward Louisiana over the next 24, 48 hours and then sliding off to the east with time. So that's why our rain chances will be highest this weekend, then hopefully dropping down as we head into Monday. We also want to have another disturbance. The National Hurricane Center keeping an eye on this over by the Bahamas. They're giving this a fairly good chance of development over the next 24 to 48 hours at 70% and then up to 90% over the next 5 days. We open it on up and we see another tropical wave way out here in the mid-tropical Atlantic and then one coming off the African coastline. Things getting a little bit busier as the National Hurricane Center giving that disturbance that's by the Bahamas about a 90% chance of developing over the next 5 days, and that's going to be skirting off the mid-Atlantic coastline. So we'll watch that, but no concerns here locally in the Gulf of Mexico. This feature, however, we do track on the European model reaching at least the Northwest Caribbean. So it could be a Gulf system to reckon with, but we may have something before then. Well, we have two things going right now. One, our tropical moisture that's here right now. We'll call this just a disturbance, but we could see something down the line, and we'll show you that on the European model. First off, the threat of heavy rains over the next couple of days. Those rains begin to diminish and move off to the east, but here comes a frontal boundary as we head into Wednesday. Drier air, a little bit cooler. This looks cool, but it's mostly dry. That's what we're talking about here, atmospheric moisture. So drier air coming in toward the end of next week and staying with us for the following weekend. But notice what happens off to the east. We have this disturbance that will form along the frontal boundary, and that actually could become an area of low pressure that may be reckoned with down the line. So good looking weekend after that. Looks like the tropics are getting ready to get busy, and they're probably going to stay busy much of September. So first off, as we look at your future cast, I think we'll see some storms developing overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. Highest rain chances in this type of scenario, morning hours, and then things let down a little bit during the afternoon. But we do it all over again as we go into Sunday. Late night, early morning showers and storms, and then activity migrating eastward. Heaviest activity should be along and south of that I-10 corridor with some activity moving inland, but the greatest risk of flooding will be the coastal parishes, and we see that on the RPM model accumulation product through tomorrow. We're talking generally 1 inch to 2 or maybe 3 inches of rain. I-10 southward, that fits in that 1 to 4 inch rainfall category, but then, pardon me, weather changes here going on. And then as we get into Sunday, we can see some big numbers showing up along the coastal parishes, even higher amounts, flooding rains just offshore. So a situation we'll have to continue to watch. Not a major threat, but there is a flood threat still present throughout the weekend, albeit small and mainly confined down to the coast and the coastal marshes. So showers and storms redeveloping overnight tonight. Heaviest action near the coast. I'll go rain chance 50% tonight, 80% tomorrow. as that flood watch continues, especially morning hours on the storms, and the highest rainfall totals, especially along the coast. Here we go with your next 5 days. That flood watch possible. We'll say a big range here, 2 to 8 inches possible through Sunday. Rain chances toned down for Tuesday briefly. They're back up Wednesday with that front, and they'll tone back down Thursday. Friday, Saturday, next Sunday, looking fantastic with lower humidity and lows possibly getting into the upper 60s.
We'll look forward to next weekend,
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly, not this one.
Thanks, Rob.